Hey, welcome Broken World Entertainment. And Ezra Miller has pleaded guilty in his case for the burglary felony charge. Except not quite for that, as he's cut a plea deal ahead of the hearing. What is the plea deal? I tell you one thing, God knows how he managed to get this deal. It's beyond me. Just give me his lawyer now. He's pleaded guilty to the charge of the felony burglary, except in doing so, the court has dropped the charge of the burglary as well as petty larceny, and they've bumped it down to mere trespassing. I'm not kidding. that's what he's being bumped down to. How you get a deal like that is beyond me. So, um, he he's been given, is it 90 days or something? I think it's 80 or 90 days jail sentence, suspended, so he won't spend a day behind bars. Fined $500 for the trespassing, and then $192. I think it's 192. It's either 192 or 162. I think it's 192 though. Dollars for a surcharge. So in total, he's on probation for a year, so he can't get in any trouble for a year. He's pleaded guilty to trespassing. The other two charges were dropped, and he's paid a total. And he's the 80 to 90 days in jail suspended, and he's been fined a total of $692. That is some rich people privilege right there. That's the privilege of Hollywood, and probably a bit of the privilege of being a part of the alphabet. They probably didn't want that to be on their hands going, oh, it's one of them. It's one of them we identify. We can't do that. So let's look at some of what exactly happened and how in the hell did he even get that charge, like a lesser charge. So the Miller has entered a guilty plea for a lesser charge of trespassing after being accused of stealing 3 bottles of liqueur, gin, vodka and rum from a pantry at Stamford, Vermont neighbour Isaac Winkork. I have no idea how you pronounce his second name. I'll make for it. By the way, it wasn't just 3 bottles. He robbed 7 bottles. Would have been 8, but he copped the camera, went, oh, and put one back. Miller's change of a plea hearing is this Friday, so he's going to plead guilty. The actor, who was repped by attorney Lisa B. Court, I have no idea how do you pronounce her second name, Kirk or something like that, has submitted a notice of plea agreement with the Vermont Supreme Court's Criminal Division to have counts 1 and 2 of burglary and petty larceny waived. How do you get that deal? What the hell did his attorney say or do to get a court to drop a felony charge down to a mere trespassing charge? That is like getting a deal for murder knocked down to you stole his phone after you murdered him, so we're just going to charge you for stealing the phone. Oh yeah, you shot him 7 times, but don't worry. Plead guilty and we'll just charge you for nicking the phone, which would be a slap on the wrist. that's basically what this is. It's crazy. And of course, what does this mean for the Flash? Well, it's good news and it's bad news for Warner Brothers in total. How's it good news? Well, it's good news because he's not getting charged on the felony words, felony charges. It's bad news though because you still have your star pleading guilty. So, yeah, not a great look for them. Of course, the movie's still coming out in June, I believe it is. Uh, they're, no one has rebutted the whole story of they're not actually going to continue work with him. That came out where that article came out saying, oh yeah, they're open to still working with him. And no one has come out to refute that and say, no, that's not happening. But anyway, talk about true privilege. If you or me did this, we'd be banged up. We'd have the maximum fine, which is something like $5,000. We'd be doing the 90 days in jail. Or 90 weeks, whatever it is. I think it's days. 90 days anyway, in jail. And a probably big permanent record and all that type of shit. But here you are, Mr. Hollywood, with his millions, manages to get 2 charges, one of which the felony burglary charge, knocked down to a mere trespassing charge. In total, $692 fine, probation for a year, and a suspended sentence. Jesus Christ. What is it with rich people and politicians that constantly get away with this shit? It's crazy. Crazy. But anyway, I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.